Alright guys, we're about to watch the first demonstration of the fire safety.
We'll come over here.
If you want to start that one in a minute.
Stand there, stand there. Otherwise people will come in.
Yeah, we'll start this one now and then we'll run the next one until we're at 11. That's good thing.
Oh, we've got to be so careful now. Hey, watch how quickly it takes off.
Alright folks, welcome along. Emma's my name. So today we are demonstrating to you a little bit about fire behaviour in the natural environment. So depending on where you are in the area as to what your level of risk is. So the closer to the national park you are, the greater the risk. In the urbanised area, the less the risk, but we still need to be aware because the wind will carry embers out of the burning forest up in and around the urbanised area and it can start fires. So the challenge we've obviously got at the moment is when extremely wet, and we only need a few days like this, and the grass will go ballistic. All perennial grasses, so once it dries off, it'll be available to burn.
It's up in the top car park, it's happening right now, shoppers. Come and get your bargain. Come and get the top of the car park, the bird table, and right now, we're a live demonstration of what will happen if there's a wildfire, grass fire, or bushfire in your local area, which of course here in Nottingham downtown road, beautiful national park, right next to something of a beautiful home. So quickly out to the top car park. All the other activities will be paused just for 5 minutes. I can show you this very important
Leading up to that event, so how dry is everything. Now, one of the challenges that we potentially have is the grass will dry out, and if that ground remains soft, we will not be able to get the fire trucks into the paddocks to fight that fire. So we're going to have to sit on the side of the road and wait for it to come to us. So that means that fire is going to grow, get bigger. And the more fuel you have, the more fire you have. So we work on flame heights 3 to 4 times the height of our fuel. So if the grass is up this high, 3 or 4 times, a pretty serious fire. If you've got the grass less than 100 mil, 3 or 4 times, much easier to put out. Okay?
Yeah, I don't know whether I like them or not.
Now, where you are, they defend lifting up the weeds, cleans the park, they like rubbish, make sure your gutters are clean. Because you want to clean anyway. That's what gets rid of the water from your house. You don't want to pour rubbish or rubbish out for money. So we'll light this up. So the scenario we've got is a valley. We've got our road running through here, and I've done it yellow for dirt because we've got more potholes than we actually have bitumen in a lot of areas. So it helps represent that. We've got a waterway running through. We've got a bit of a lake here, a valley, and with some green grass around it. So that would normally give us a bit of a safe haven, but there's always someone who wants to get the elevated area to get those panoramic views out over the area. Alright, so we live up on the ridges. Now, fire burns faster uphill than it does downhill. Now, there's a formula that does it, but for every, so on a 30-degree upslope, you're 8 times the speed of your fire. Now, we've got a couple of cars here, so we'll light it up. See how we go. If you've got any questions as we go, yell.
You watch. See, here it goes. See, the smoke and off goes. Watch how quickly.
Now, don't fall for the old trick of thinking there's only ever going to be one fire in the area, because we have, for example, if a dry lightning strike goes through, it can light our fire in multiple places. And if you're now between those two fire fronts, how do you get out? Depending on where you are, often there's one way in and there's one way out, and if that way is blocked, you're in trouble. The challenge around the third wet year in a row is the ground is sodden, and it will be very, very easy for the trees to come down. And as we head out Wellington Road, we get narrower, the trees are close to the road, it only takes one of those trees to come down and the road is blocked. Now what do I do? And on a high risk day with fire in the area, who wants to go on the Belgrave Road? No, thank you. Exactly. So it's about that pre-planning. Now we've got a pretty calm day today, so we're not going to get a lot of wind. So the more wind we have, the more fire we will have. Right. See, we started off fairly small, bit of smoke is starting to drift. So when do you get your first fire truck? When's the first fire truck going to roll out of the station here?
When they get a call?
When they get a call.
Call 000.
Yeah, 000. And when do we call 000?
Soon as you.
When the fire started. So the fire's already started before you dial 000. Okay, so our people playing catch-up football. Right, now we can see our fire is starting to spread. So we're already across the road. As you can see, as we start to burn up this slope, how those flames are starting to get higher and they're starting to bend over. So they're coming up. So our first house here, we're going to get this going for a very short time.
Oh, the car. Yeah.
Okay? Have a look at the flame heights. I've got no wind. It's a pretty calm day. And I've got flame heights 25 centimetres high. So, in a genuine situation, okay, we go. We've already lost our first house. And it's now coming across. So some of you should be able to feel that radiant heat. Okay? Not much of a fire, but I can tell you, standing here is pretty warm. So up here, we've got the people at home. Where am I going to go? How am I going to get there? If I said this is my safe area down here at the lake.
Come here. Isabella, come here, Sophie. Come here.
It's too late. We've already found the fire is now coming across the back of this house and will now start back down the hill.
Okay.
It's burning across and continue to come up.
Yeah, no.
This is gone.
But look. Yeah, as soon as you see your fire, you will ring for help. Ring. Wow. Look at that. Stand over here so you can watch. Alright. Look how quickly it's burning. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Keep watching.
One side. So a fire will always follow the path of this fuel line. So that can be roadside reserves, that can be walking trails, along the creek, or continuous fuel. It can be the linear parking goes through some of our subdivisions. But part of that is maybe you get this just back fence, a brush cutter, and slash a metre out to your fence. Here's the height of the grass. We're not going to burn this bit because green grass doesn't burn. Fire will go around. And obviously we've got the lake, so the fire will burn around it. What we found here, this upper aspect, it's gone. And that's only taken a couple of minutes for that fire to come up here. You saw the flame heights. Now, the amount of smoke that we're generating, so in a multi-hectare grass or bushfire, we are going to generate enormous amounts of this smoke. and your visibility is about that far in front of your face. So being on the roads in fire is never a good idea. So it's that pre-planning. About what you are going to do on those high risk days. That might be about you decide to stay in Rowville rather than going up into the hills or somewhere where it's a far higher risk. So it's understanding that, and certainly on days of extreme, you need to stay cool, you need to stay hydrated, look after our young people, our frail and elderly, so make sure they're cool, they're hydrated, and not go off doing silly things. It's not the day at 3 o'clock we go and go for a run. We need to do that in the cool of the evening or the cool of the morning. So it's planning and where you're going. So if you're out holidaying, where are you? You might never relocate. So, plenty of heat. Now, so we've still got, so whilst most of the fuel's burnt, we've still got this smouldering. So it's still generating heat, and the wind will pick your burning material up and spread it as embers and spread the fire. Trying to drive through it, it's hot. So making sure that we're covered up, as much bare skin as possible with a natural fibre is the way to go. It's green, so green grass won't burn, and in the parks, the grass is generally fairly well slashed nice and low, so it gives us a safe zone. And apart from that, look, the hessian will burn, but I'm making sure it doesn't. So what we've done, we've burnt this out. We've burnt this out and we've lost about 4 houses. How do I get out of here? Part of it is to go to the boat and drive a different way. So you always go the same way to work, same way to do your leisure activity. Drive a different load, see where it goes, watch the fuel loads, is it safer? Am I better off to drop that and we're safer. Depending on where I was, I'd be staying home and watching what's going on. Yeah, go to the lake and try and stay safe. Yeah. Drink plenty of water, but don't try and stay out of the smoke. Because the smoke will burn our respiratory system, our eyes water, and if you've got respiratory problems, it can create serious problems because we don't know what's burning. So we've burnt 4 houses, and we know that house fires are highly toxic. We've burnt sheds down. So again, there's chemicals and there's all sorts of things in there that will create problems. So if you're on the road, find somewhere low fuel where you can stop safely, and if you can get inside a building and shelter, it's even better. Okay, now we managed that fairly well, but we still managed to burn the fishing club down.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to the Rowville Fire Brigade Open Day today. And you know that we're celebrating our 80th
Pointing out all the weather changes in our favour, so the temperature has to drop considerably and the wind has to drop.
Amazing where we are.
Any questions anyone's got?
Lovely Australia.
Any other questions?
Have a look at some of our displays. But as to our next display will be